Hello, guys, it's GBaby, and you might have heard that laugh in the background, and yes, that is the laugh of my good friend Trexen, also known as Tristan, also known as Trigun, and we're here to play. We're not here to play anything actually. We're
We're
here to
here to
talk.
talk
Ooh,
about video. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to talk about video games.
we're here to talk about life in general.
Yeah, we're going to talk. So, I decided that my subject was going over relationship advice.
Oh, so yeah, this is a podcast, by the way. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
the GbabyCast, and I'll be altering the image as we go through the day.
Alright, sounds
It's in pretty swank paint right now, but yeah, no video games, nothing boring. We're gonna do some fun stuff. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tristan, since he thought of the topic, he's gonna have the first little segue into the podcast. So what did you find out?
Alright, so I found out a key to get into a good relationship is finding the right person. You know? You know the basics, right, George?
Of course.
So, you gotta hang out with them, I'm not saying that it's like, oh, you gotta hang out with them in order to date them. Because, you want to be spending a lot of time with them. You gotta get used to them, So, before you even, do anything, don't judge them by looks. Judge them by their beliefs. You catch my drift, George? Are you staying with me?
She's not a queen.
She's not a Christian! No, what I'm saying is it's always best to get to know a person, kind of sometimes see what they like, see if you have anything in common. And some people are like, oh, everybody knows that that your perfect love life or your perfect lover isn't anything like you and is like an opposite. That's not always true,
Yeah.
Because
Like, how do hot people stay with hot people?
yeah, of course, dude, I've seen Asian geeks that probably spend all day playing LOL with hot seniors. Trust me, I know. Okay, but see,
And if Tristan knows, then everybody freaking knows.
yeah, see, I know. But there's always that stereotype that's like, oh, you can't if you really love a person, they're not like you at all. But if you're too alike, then you'll get bored of each other, And so, as I said, that's not always the thing, right? Because sometimes you have, a lot in common, and you just have, a lot to do together. Say you, somehow, I know we're flowing into video games here, but say you both like video games, you both like certain games. Or say you like certain curricular activities, like different sports, Say you like doing different things. Except soccer. I hate soccer.
Yeah,
How about you,
soccer
George?
sucks. You know what? Freaking iTunes. Why are you loading? I just plugged my freaking phone in. Okay, I agree. Although I don't have the best experience with relationships, I would have to say that you want to pick somebody that fits all your needs. If you don't like the person, whether it be male or whether it be female, if you don't like the person, it's okay if you don't like somebody because you think they're ugly. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just don't be rude.
Just don't. Yeah. Just.
And don't try not to prejudge.
Yeah.
And
Learn more about them.
I mean, Angelina Jolie was once a B-list actress, and now she's an A+. So
Yeah. Tomb Raider, man.
think of other people like that, like that one girl that likes you in biology class. No girl likes me in biology class, but just think of that one hypothetical woman that likes you in bio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Build off of that, and I would say reach for the stars because the stars will reach back.
So basically, the overview of that little segment was, it's always. It doesn't matter what you think of the person before you get to know them. And it doesn't matter if they're too much alike, or if they're too different from you. It just depends on how you get the flow going. You catch my drift?
I catch you. I think we should
Yeah.
transition into, you know what? We're an all-around podcast, so can we get some video game news, some E3 wrap-up a week later from you?
Alright, so let's go ahead and see what the top trailers were, right? Ranking hourly. So, from the bottom, we have the official Peanuts trailer. Now, what do you think how do you think that movie's going to actually do, George?
We're talking about E3.
Well, I mean, we're talking about, like, gaming and, like, trailers.
The Peanuts movie?
Basically, media.
Media. Okay, the Peanuts trailer, it looks, it looks like SpongeBob sponge out of water.
Yeah, I don't think I'm like it. Then we have
not.
Sinister 2, don't know what that is. That Kid Begins.
Fat Kid Begins. Now that's gonna be an underrated indie title that, I think I'm gonna, maybe, no, I don't really go to the...
You heard of that? I haven't heard of that.
No, I know, but I mean, it's a good indie movie that I think is gonna do well.
Alright. What else? Dark Places, Risen, Hitman, Agent 47.
Hitman does not look good. If you really want to see a good Hitman movie, then watch James Bond. But if you're gonna...
Yeah.
I don't even know if those two go together. I haven't seen them. It's like, if you really want a good action movie, go see Ice Age Continental Drift. That's all I could say.
Then we got, and if you do like the hype, there is Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension, which I have no idea what it's about, but they just need to stop making those. Kung Fu Panda 3, I'm cool with that. And Daddy's Home. I don't know what that is. Alright, now on to game trailers. Starting from the bottom, top 10.
Fallout 4 is probably number 1.
Wait, we're starting from the bottom, so.
Oh.
Pro Evolution Soccer 2016.
Number 1's obviously going to be Animal
I'm gonna
Crossing
say,
Amiibo Festival.
I'm honestly gonna say that Pro Evolution is gonna most likely just be FIFA reskinned. Because every soccer game I know is just, pass it to the other side, hitting the goal. It's repetitive, but I mean, I think the only reason that people like soccer games not being like too vague or prejudiced is because it gives you a lot of playtime. You catch my drift?
I catch you.
Because, like, you could be sitting there, like, with your PS3, if you're, like, a soccer geek or not. You could be sitting there on online sessions, having a good time, having a good game session, And so that's basically my view on soccer games, is they're just there for amusement for prolonged periods of time.
And they're there for it's a simulation, and you get the feeling that you're playing soccer. That's pretty much what it is.
That's not hard to do.
So go outside. No, but I mean, to be like a Messi and to be in the World Cup.
Yeah, to be like one of the famous. Anyways, then is Batman Arkham Knight.
That movie, that game.
Wish I had a good PC so I could get it, but it's not coming to Wii U. So thanks, Obama. All right. Deus Ex, Mankind Divided.
No, let's speed this up a little bit. No, I don't care.
Alright, then Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
Don't really
Hopefully that's Konami's last game. Kingdom Come, Deliverance. I think that's another indie title for Sony. No. Star Wars Battlefront.
Good. Anything Star Wars is freaking badass.
Do you see the trailer with Luke battling his father, and it's like, it's awesome. Fallout 4 is actually number 4. Actually, no, it's technically number 3. Actually, no, it's technically number 1. Because other than that, it's just the other trailers for Star Wars, Batman, and Star Wars. There's like 3 Star Wars trailers, and they like both got ranked top 3.
Cool.
So I'm going to say number 1 was Fallout 4, and everybody's hyped for that. Even though I am not an avid Fallout player or a fan, I'd say, like, looking at the trailer, I've noticed that the past years, I'm going to say, games have gotten a lot brighter. And not saying, like, humorous or anything. I mean, like, graphics have gotten more visually artistic. And story has gotten more in depth, you know? No more is it the age of, like, everything has to be like Half-Life 3 where it's all, or it's all just one big puzzle game or
There's
anything.
no
It's like,
Half-Life 3. What are you talking about?
you're Half-Life 2. And, since Fallout 4 came out, then, you know what that means? Uh, that means, Bethesda lost, and that means now, well, Half-Life 3 has to be made. But as I was saying,
Probably.
I've noticed games have gotten a lot more interesting because back in my day, it used to be a whole different ball game. It was a gamble, and now it's all around us. And so, looking at Fallout 4, it's like it's just an open world that you'd want to explore a lot. Before, I was like, I don't really want to play the Fallout games because I don't like games where I feel like bored and boring world and everything's dark and I'm lonely and stuff. And this time you have a dog, so it's okay.
Yeah.
No, but it looks like a more interesting world.
I would agree. I have some debate topics that we can do.
All right. Oh, hold on. Never mind. It's fine. Go ahead.
Little debate topic we can do here. Just to try to make a more humorous podcast. Let's see. There's a couple of these. Okay. Okay. Do you think that homework is a waste of time?
Hell yes.
I would say yes too, but I'm gonna take the no. And let's start out with your opening argument.
So, basically, when we get to the subject of homework, what we're talking about is learning at school, going at home, trying to remember what you basically learned that day. Maybe you jotted down notes. Maybe your friend gave you notes, or you were absent that day and you still don't know what to do. It's not very immersive when doing homework. And I remember my math teacher had done this thing called flipping the classroom, where basically you forget about all the distractions in the classroom from you being distracted between the teacher and yourself and all the kids in the classroom, because we all know that some classes you have at some point are just filled with a bunch of annoying losers. Not saying that everybody in classes are losers. I don't know what I was going with that, but as I was saying, this thing called flipping the classroom he did.
Your teacher was calling you a loser?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
And so
Jesus Christ.
he did this thing where he posted things on his teacher thing on his teacher site. Oh, he had his own YouTube channel for students, right?
Yeah.
And
This
and
is
so
a
basically
debate, by
he
the
said,
way.
everybody watch this movie, watch this when you get home, because then because with a video it's a lot easier, because you could rewind, you could listen to what he said again, you could remember that, and also you could jot down notes better, so then you won't have to be repeated and stuff, and it's just basically a lot easier. And then when you go to school, it's just you working on the stuff that you learned at home. So that way, you don't have any homework at home, you still learn a lot, and even if you forget it that day in class, it was still okay to pull out your phone, go on YouTube, and just look at that video. And that's flipping the classroom, and that's what I'd prefer over homework, because you can have many distractions in class. Say a hot girl, guy picking his nose in the corner, person throwing spitballs, I don't know, a bunch of stuff could happen. So that's my view on homework.
Okay, can we get an overview of your ideas, just in two
All right.
sentences?
Overview.
2 sentences.
Homework at school, learning at home. Lessons at home. What I mean. Homework at school, lessons at home.
Okay, here's what I have to say about that. These teachers, these educators, they are paid to teach you at school, and it has
Are
been
they
a
really? I didn't know
tradition for hundreds of years, not hundreds. I'm gonna say it. For a long time, it has been a tradition to have homework. Every generation's had homework.
that.
Your mom's had homework. Your dad's had homework. Your grandma had homework. Your sister, your aunt, and your baby brother. They're all gonna have homework. And homework is like a reflection you do after you read, and a reflection you do after a sports game. You reflect on the game. Your homework for that sport
Fertility fight.
is to go home and plan for the next game. Is to go, and that's what you do. So it's practice, it's extra practice, and I don't see why it's a bad thing. It gets in people's ways, but some people can do it and some people can't. It's like if people can like do it and don't complain about it, then I don't think that it shouldn't be banned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just homework. If you can't do it, it's not because you can't do it, it's because you don't want to do it.
Unless something really bad happens.
Yeah, but then you'll get a pass. But I mean, to completely ban, homework altogether, that's I don't think that's a smart idea. Would you say homework helps you in any way at all?
Yeah, I'd say it does. I mean, I've gotten a lot more used to homework just first semester to second semester. Because I remember in freaking first semester, I wasn't doing anything, I was just sitting there, and I thought I was just gonna pass the class with a C, and I bombed. I only passed like 2 of my classes that year, and it just sucked, and I was like, you know what? How can it be so hard to just go home, do an assignment, just pay attention in class? And it turned out really well. The lowest grades I got were B's.
Well,
And that's it.
That's beautiful.
Either way, I'm cool with homework or no homework. But I prefer, considering also I do water polo, remember that, and it's also starting up soon, that you might have extracurriculars. So maybe
Well,
you probably don't have time to finish like a project or something. So, and projects are different. You have time over that. So, also like, I'm cool with switching the classroom. Doing it in the class, learning at home. But I mean, that's other things.
Okay, I think this is
Depends on the person, really.
Yeah, it depends on the person. I think now we spend this valuable time to make a little, I think a fun, innocent little storytelling time should take place. Like, we each tell a fun story, whether it be funny, goofy, any kind of story you want.
Alright, I got a story.
Any story, funny,
Alright, sit
sexual,
back.
anything you want.
Sit back, relax, and listen to this story.
Let's invite Carl to the group.
Go ahead, do it. I dare you.
No, dude, we're in the middle of a podcast. Maybe next podcast. Maybe next one. Okay.
So, our story begins.
And there's no censors. You can say whatever you want. We need to add some humor to this, so try to be funny.
Our story begins
Funny.
the Middle East.
Funny. Middle East isn't funny.
About 1,000 years ago, right? 1,000 years ago. So this was like back time.
Oh my god, the Middle Eastern and 1,000 years ago. This is gonna be boring.
No.
It's gotta be pretty.
And there was this guy named Benny, right?
Benny in 1,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Benny.
Yeah. My name is Jacob, and I'm from.
Shut up.
I'm from the Roman
Shut up.
times. Okay.
Are you gonna let me tell the story?
Okay.
You're gonna let me tell the story.
I'll let you tell the damn story.
All right. So Benny, he was a popular guy. He kept up with all the trends. He kept up with all the cool stuff. And when those giant carpets came out, like beautiful embroidery and stuff, and those got in style, he was like, oh man, I gotta get a ton of those so I could be cool. And And so that was just his thing, to just keep up with all the trends. When fezzes started coming into style, he had like one of every color. It was crazy, and he'd like different patterns, and when different furniture, just everything. When anything became in style, Benny was the guy who was already on it. Um,
So
but
Benny,
one day, a new trend came up, and this was beards. Now, see, Benny himself had never grown a full beard
he's like a freaking
at all on
hipster.
his face. He had a baby face, basically. And it just started becoming in style. All his friends started to get some, and like everybody else was popular, but it's like, oh, Benny doesn't have a beard. We're not gonna go to his parties and stuff. And like he was shunned at like other people's parties, and he fell out of place. So while he was walking through the village, through the markets, he he stumbled upon this lady who was offering a lamp. And you know what lamps did back in the Middle East about 1,000 years ago.
Allah Akbar.
Yeah, so he said, all right, I'll take it. And so he came home, rubbed it. 1, 2, 3 rubs, and then bam, a genie came out.
It only takes Tristan 3 rubs.
Wow, wow. But you see, this genie was different. He was fed up with all of the, oh, give me 3 wishes, blah, 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 I can't take them back. Nah, he wasn't that kind of genie. Instead, he was fed up. He didn't care what happened to him. He was just like, oh, gee, another person for me to be their slave. And so, Benny, of course, guess what he wished for?
Infinite wishes.
You can't do that.
Oh,
He wished for the most luscious and biggest beard in the kingdom.
Why didn't you wish for like a big penis?
Because that wasn't the trend.
Well, that's
He already
always
had-
been the trend. Don't
He
say
already
that's
had
not
one of
been
those.
the trend. That's
He
been
already
the
had
trend
one of
since
those.
the Middle Eastern freaking
Anyways,
Ethiopian days.
so when this happened, Benny, he was like, yeah, that's what I want, and that's it. And then the genie was like, okay, good, because I'm only going to give you 1 wish, but there is a consequence if you shave it. If you shave your beard, you will be immediately put onto the fireplace, onto the mantle, in a little vase, right? A metal vase, and you'll be earned on the spot as soon as you shave it off. So, Benny was like, okay, sounds good, just give me the beard. He was just caught up in the moment. And he was like, alright. So Benny had the most luscious beard in the kingdom, Everybody was like, Benny has the coolest beard. He's such a cool guy. He's always with the trends. Everybody loves him. And then,
Freaking Benny, man.
and a couple months pass,
Pulling bitches.
and they're out of style. Instead, the new style is just cleanly shaven. Your head, your beard, your armpits, your chest hair, your legs, just everything, just completely shaved. And so Benny was starting to get scared. So,
Oh, is this like how the hipster was born? I think. Yeah. The hell? Did you just low key leave the? You just low key left the podcast. What? Jackson low key leaving the podcast. What the? Okay. Well, I think what he was trying to say is that Benny became the modern day hipster. If he has to freaking go, I'm gonna be super pissed off.
no, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay. Someone's in house. Good, dude. Good ear, good ear. Okay. I'm just gonna keep talking. He's having technical difficulties right now, or somebody's in his house. His dad has a gun, so it's cool. But yeah, what he was trying to say is Benny is it's a depiction of the modern day hipster. You know, when you look in the mirror or you watch like Red Link, you'll see a hipster, a man on a mission, a man to be completely unlike any other man known to mankind. That is the hipster. The hipster tries his hardest to be a trendsetter, but he sets trends that have been recently untrended. You know, the beard. It's good to be clean shaven, but the hipster wears the beard. The glasses are out of style, but he wears the glasses and makes them look
And so,
cool.
anyways,
Okay, he's back.
Benny, he was like, oh man, I gotta keep up with these trends,
Oh,
And so he shaved everything. He shaved his hair, and all he had to do
his
was
beard?
get. No, he didn't do his beard yet because he was too scared. So he was thinking about it. He slept on it for a night,
Oh,
and he
and
was
then he
like,
slept on the beard. I get it. Sorry.
and so he was like, you know, that genie is probably long gone. Doesn't care what I've been doing. He probably doesn't even remember about the beard thing. So he was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and shave a little bit off, see if anything happens. And then I'll just see, I'll just see what happens. I'll just shave a little bit off at a time. So he gets his cream, he lathers up, his face. And then, and he gets his blade, right? And he cuts. Nothing happens. So he's like, alright. I'll go ahead and shave the other side. So then, gets his blade, gets the other side. Nothing happens. So he starts feeling comfortable, he gets his cheek, he gets his other cheek, still good, everything's cool. Gets around his chin, up his get the stuff off his neck, part of the neck beard. And then take a little bit off his mustache until he finally has one strand of hair. And at this point, he's like, I'm totally set. I'm gonna be the coolest guy ever. And then he shaves it off. And guess what happens?
No.
He's immediately earned on the mantle his ashes inside of the urn on the mantle. The moral of the story? A Benny shaved is a Benny earned.
Did you think of this on the spot or no?
That's just a story I usually tell at campouts.
A Benny saved is a Benny earned.
A Benny shaved is a Benny earned.
Nice. Freaking mosquito, get the hell out of here. Well, my story is about these two dudes, these two really cool dudes named Horge and Lexon. I mean George and Tristan, and they. I was I was gonna try to low key change our names. About these two cool dudes, and I'll try to draw it in paint just to try to give you guys a good idea of what I'm trying to picture here. I'm trying to paint a picture of paint, but what I'm trying to do here is there's basically it's these two guys, good friends, best friends, and all of a sudden they're like digging in George's backyard, my backyard, and they find this hole. And this hole leads to this secret world. And you know what this world's called?
Narnia.
No. This world, it was weird. They opened the door. There was a door down there, and it was oil land. It was a land of oil. And what it meant. They opened and it was waterfalls of oil, millions of gallons of oil, and they were rich. They became rich. These two 15-year-old boys, they found this freaking awesome land under their house, and it led to incredible riches. But as every oil tycoon knows, that doesn't last forever. Their house, the fame got to their head. All the oil, they were billionaires, the richest people in the world. Their oil findings, like with the amount of oil they found, the whole world went into a frenzy. We now had oil for the next 200 years. The world was set. Our children were gonna live in a world where they didn't have to fear about anything because there was oil, and they were rich. They were richer than Justin Bieber. They were bigger than the Beastie Boys. But you know, when you give a kid that much power and that much money, it gets to their head, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you get $100 bill, you're like, I'm on top of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have $1 billion, I couldn't imagine what I'd do with $1 billion. But these boys were smart. They spent it on drugs, they spent it on sex, and they spent it on charity. It was the 3 C's they called: bitches, hoes, charity. But all of it got to their head. After getting all the girls in the world, Tristan could take no more. He said, I've done everything. I remember complaining about not being able to play Fallout. Well, I freaking bought Bethesda, and they're making like 20 other Fallouts, and they're making it for the Wii U. We've done everything we could in the world. We've cured cancer, we've cured AIDS. But was that enough? Was that enough, Jackson?
Mm-hmm.
Well, George wasn't satisfied. Trexan went into a deep depression, not knowing what to do with his life. What do you do after you've accomplished so much off of dumb luck? Like all oil tycoons. No. What do you do? What do you do?
KYS. Is that what you do?
I don't know what that is, to be honest. But what do you
Kill yourself.
Oh, well, okay, thanks for the idea. Trexan could take no longer. While he was with 2 hot girls, Kate Upton and all the other hot girls in the world, he said, ladies, this is the last night you'll be seeing me. And they said, why, Trexan? Why?
Because I'm a KYS.
He said, because I can't take no longer. I can't do it anymore. He said, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of having hoes on my dick every night. I'm tired of it. And then he whispered in her ear. Whispered in Kate Upton's ear. I'm gay. And then he finished off. He finished with the ladies. He finished 20 times, and he said, ah! Oh! Can't take it anymore. He punched one in the face, and he jumped out the window. Later that day, Kate Upton called George and said, George, I'm afraid some terrible news has happened. George said, what? I'm actually crying right now, I don't know why. He said, your friend Tristan, we were hanging out, me and the ladies, and he jumped out the window, and he's in a coma. He wasn't dead. George, after, signing some documents and stuff, had, uh, you know, went to check on him, and he checked on his friend, and he started to burst into tears. He said, Tristan, why would you do this? Why would you jump out the window when you're with these hot ladies? He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to expect. He didn't know if he'd get a response, considering Tristan was in a coma. He said, speak to me, brother. He said, speak to me. He never did.
Monkey junkie.
Now it turns out before Tristan jumped off, after trying to commit suicide, he signed a document.
Sleep down, Brooklyn.
And the document read a terrible thing. He gave the company to Esteban Venezuela Gomez. He gave it to a terrible man named Esteban. And Esteban had the company now. And George, who had already smartly bought a house, paid it off, and, stored a bunch of money. But the company sold off. And George went to Tristan and said, why? Why would you do this? You know what Esteban's going to do to the company. And Tristan woke up. And he started to speak to George. And what did he say, Tristan?
He said, Taco Bear Pantalones.
You're not even paying attention to my story.
Yeah, I am.
You would know a good response if you paid attention to my story. I was going to transition into some dual dialogue. But no. No, you had to screw it up. Okay, anyway. He woke up and said, Tristan, my best friend, why would you do this? Why would you sell the company? Why would you ruin our lives? And as his last breaths, and as his last breaths were breathing out, he said to George, to Kate Upton, to everybody who was in that room, he whispered, bitches ain't shit.
Yes.
Look on these nuts.
He said, bitches ain't nothing but hoes and trips.
And Kate Upton said no, and gave him a kiss. The kiss that brought him back to life. He woke up and he said, wait, I can't live this life. He got up, got out of bed, and they went to Esteban Gomez, and they said,
pulled out. Then he pulled out a Desert Eagle out of his back pocket and shot himself 27 times in the head.
What the fuck? Yeah, that's freaking metal, man. What the hell? That's freaking metal, man. No. They said, we need to get to Esteban. We need to get to him. So they do. I'm like I've been messing with paint this whole freaking time.
Mm-hmm.
They went to Esteban and they knew they had to do something. Freaking what the hell? No, I don't want that anymore, please. Chris. Dude, the Jewish symbols all over the place. They went to Esteban, who had stolen the company. And they had a shootout. Esteban said, hola, ¿cómo estás? And what did Tristan say? Bien, usted. And shot him in the head. And that's where the story ends.
Sorry, that one time you said Beastie Boys, I went onto Spotify and looked them up on Spotify and started listening to their songs.
Nice.
Can you repeat the story?
No, I'm not going to repeat the story. Listen to it on the podcast. The youtube.com/channel/XZXWYBG. Okay.
Send me the link.
The podcast isn't on yet.
I thought podcasts were live.
No, podcasts aren't live.
Oh.
This isn't live. This is recorded, and we're being hella boring. So we need to be funnier in the closing. Okay, I say we have a rap battle.
All right.
Okay. Now I'll bust a beat. You know what? I will bust a beat. Ready?
Alright.
You know what? No, we need to play. You know, let's talk about our favorite memes. We each got to name our favorite meme.
Alright.
What is your favorite meme? You know my favorite meme.
I'm gonna have to say table flip guy.
Table flip guy? Now, can you name some examples of your meme?
When the internet goes down and then he flips his table, or when you get 30 XP in Minecraft and you die from falling 3 blocks.
Cool. I think we all need to hear a little bit of this. Ladies and gentlemen, the link will be in the description, but the beauty of this music is so beautiful. Stop, turn it off. Okay. Now, I'm gonna play a fun remix that I think Tristan knows what I'm gonna play, but it's really funny. Don't tell the audience. Ready? It's a trap remix. Here we go. And after this, we'll do some closing thoughts and end the podcast. Yeah. 1, 2. You know what this one is, Tristan?
Okay.
This is on our... I'd like to thank our sponsor, Beats by Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
One, 2, 3, 1. Everybody clap.
Yo,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
DJ Kelly!
Oh, watch me, nene. Cause that was one of my favorite remixes. I'm not really much of a rap guy, but I do appreciate a good, funny remix. But, yeah, so, you know, the podcast is coming to an end. This was kind of just a random thing. So for the new reboot of the podcast, I was thinking we'd try to do it every week, but I mean, we're probably not going to do that. If not, I will do it by myself. Probably will be the most boring thing ever. But, yeah. Any closing thing you want to talk about? Anything at all?
I say I should close up with maybe some, my corner of the stock markets. So let's go ahead and see,
The
what's been
stocks,
going on.
everybody. Okay, thanks for watching the podcast.
Wait, hold on, no. Dow
nobody
Jones
cares.
is down 178. NASDAQ is down 36.68. Buy low. S&P 500
Bill
minus.
Gates, at this moment, Bill Gates sitting down and taking notes.
And then what else do we got here? Here's my watch list. Nintendo is down 167.99. NASDAQ is down 4,524.60. Sony is down 30.58. 1.
Oh, goddamn.
Sirius XM is down 33.81. Apple is up 128.11. Microsoft is down 45.64. Spider is down 210.50. And the FTSE is up 6,844.80.
What about Disney?
And I have this little article I'm going to go and tell you. Uh, the top 30 ways to stop spoiling your kid.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 1 of the GbabyCast. Disney's down 21%. Goodbye. Mwah. Bye, Tristan. Bye. No. Goodbye. Mwah.